am Dracula.
It's definitely not a family kind of Dracula, this one. And it looks just terrifying.
It's about blood. It's literally about blood. It will offer lots of shocks.
It's very exciting.
It's absolutely terrifying.
There are really horrifying scenes.
You don't get more dramatic than this.
Tony, take one.
Action.
Mr. Harker, you must take this.
Oh, that's very kind of you, thank you. I couldn't possibly.
You must.
I suppose the thing about Dracula is it's one of those characters that you want a crack at. You want your own version of.
I think every era has to have his Dracula.
And there's something irresistible about having a go at such an iconic character. And as with Sherlock Holmes in Baker Street, you know, briefly having the keys of the castle to play around with, it's irresistible and exciting. Something that Bram Stoker did way back in 1897, he sort of crystallised an awful lot of vampire legend into this fantastic, clearly immortal character.
The thing that we thought we could try, and it was very, very challenging, very, very difficult, was to make Dracula the main character. I know that sounds slightly odd, but if you look at the book, he's not in it that much. He's in the first few chapters and then he's in the background. So how do you actually put the spotlight on Dracula?
What we've got here, this Dracula, is quite closely connected to the Bram Stoker novel.
It's a high adventure novel. There's lots of daring do, there's lots of coach chases, there's lots of stuff like that. So we've tried to embrace all that.
I am Claes, and I am playing Dracula.
Immediately, I thought, I love that name. I hope he's right for it.
One of the very few occasions where the bad guy is the main guy.
Nobody's perfect.
It's a tough ask casting Dracula, because you actually want to say he's so attractive and charming and interesting that it's worth giving up the rest of your life for one night with this guy.
Claes was really the only one that was in our sights, really.
He brings 100% commitment to the role, huge energy, huge sort of sexual energy, as well as being a kind of demonic force.
So I played Jonathan Harker. He's a lawyer from England, and he gets sent to Dracula's castle to finalise the deeds of a house for Count Dracula.
Well, Jonathan Harker, of course, famously is the first character to introduce us to Dracula.
I bid you welcome, Mr. Harker.
It's very important to me for him not to be too much of a pushover. He's an incredibly courageous man.
I'm playing the character of Mina, and she is very much in love with her fiancé Jonathan Harker and will do anything to make sure that he is safe. I prepared for this role by becoming just completely obsessed with the undead. I was just so excited that Mark and Stephen were making it, really, because when I read it, I was like, this is so perfect. Of course they should do this, because their style suits it so well. Because I think they're both a little dark themselves and twisted with their humour, which is just Dracula, really.
My character is called Sister Agatha, and she is not like many nuns you've seen before.
Apparently I cannot be trusted alone with a man. Consider yourself chaperoned.
She's a real modern-day heroine. She's really brave. She's brilliant.
What Dolly brings to it is an immense grasp of comedy.
You combine all the qualities of an atheistical nun with a sort of action hero.
I admire her hugely.
Where in our world is God to be found? In our prayer? No.
I play the Mother Superior. Mother Superior is like a dragon at the front of the gate of the convent, protecting the nuns and protecting the sanctity of the place.
Why would the forces of darkness wish to attack a convent?
Perhaps they're sensitive to criticism.
but she's up against it with Dracula.
Hey, it's Lisa here with more on horror. The Exorcist was the first horror film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. Now, the horror genre has never gotten much love from the Academy, though there still seems to be a bias against scary movies. During awards season, The Exorcist earned 10 Oscar nominations in 1974, including Best Supporting Actress nod for Linda Blair, who was just 15 years old at the time. Now, do you like my shirt? You can get one in the description below.